A lot of people have been asking me how I homeschool my two toddlers. And so today I'm going to share with you the curriculums and tools that I'm using to homeschool my two toddlers. So I currently have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and we travel a lot back and forth. I'm grateful that I work for myself, so I have a lot of freedom and flexibility in my schedule. And my two boys are so smart. I literally ask them all the time, do you want to go to school? They always say, we want to homeschool. They pay attention when we do our homeschooling. And so at this young age where we also learn so much just from being in the world, talking to each other, going out in the world, talking to grown-ups, shopping, traveling, all the things. There's so much to learn just from actually being in the world and interacting in the world. And so I feel like that's so important. And I also want my kids to be exposed to the curriculum that they would have been getting while in school. So the apps that I found, I did a lot of research, and the first one and the main one that I use is called Schoolio. So you can find it at schoolio.com. I can put a link below if you need it. And I love Schoolio. When I looked it up, it said that it is a complete curriculum. So someone could use this curriculum all the way through high school, and it has everything that you need all in one place except for reading. And I'll talk about what I use for reading after. And so I love it because you can make a schedule. So for every day, which topics you want, and then you can pick the learnings, the teachings that you want to put on each day of the week, and you can follow that schedule. So each of the lessons takes anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes, depending on the topic of the lesson. Typically, there's a video that they watch and then an interactive activity where we're tapping or dragging and dropping things on the screen, and they absolutely love it. Their favorite part actually is when you first turn on the app or you first open it up and it asks you how you're feeling today. They love clicking the little emoji button to say how they're feeling. And even though I teach them a lot of things just as we're going through our day and things that I want them to know about life, I love it because it shows me things that I might not have really thought about teaching them. For example, I talk to them about money a lot, but I never would have thought to talk to them about notation, like the dollar sign and the decimal point. That was one of the lessons that they had recently. So we're really loving Schoolio. It's really easy to use. And then what Schoolio says is it has the complete curriculum, but of course you can add onto it to emphasize anything that they're learning. So for example, yesterday we also went to the museum, we saw dinosaurs, we saw animals, all sorts of things so that your children can get a complete enriched experience. You could also do a field trip or read books on the topic or watch movies on whatever topics to enrich whatever it is that you're teaching them. The second app that I use that I absolutely love is called Reading.com. And this fills in the blanks of reading that Schoolio doesn't dive deep into, although Schoolio is also great. So with Reading.com, it's an app you download it. So a lot of the time we do the app on my iPad. And it has daily lessons and it's very interactive. So they have fun clicking the button to open up the lesson. They have fun opening up each of the lessons within the Reading.com app. Every day it starts off with the alphabet song. So they're getting really familiar with that. They have it pretty much almost memorized. And then it guides them through the sounds of each letter, drawing each letter so they learn how to trace each letter and write each letter. And also where we are with my 3 and 4-year-old is we're at the point where they're taking 2 letters and putting the sounds together to read. Also, even outside of the lessons that are parent-led, there's also games. So there's this game that's really cute called Hungry Cloud, and they drag a letter up to a cloud and the cloud eats it, and it makes cute little sounds, and it also makes the sound of the letter. So they're ingraining the reminders of what each letter sounds like just as they're playing and having fun with the game. The third app that we love to use for our homeschooling is called ABC Mouse. This is actually the first app that I ever downloaded for our homeschooling and home learning. I think we were watching Disney one day and it popped up as a commercial. We downloaded it and loved it. So ABC Mouse is more of a game, but they bring in educational components. So there might be a game around colors or shapes or letters, that type of thing. So So how I love it, or why I love it, is because through repetition, they're getting exposed to all these different topics. There are also videos within ABC Mouse. So they might watch a video about counting, or watch a video about nature or hygiene or coloring. But I find that it's not as much in a specific order of a curriculum. So I like to give them exposure to ABC Mouse just to have fun, just to creatively learn without pressure, still getting exposed to things that are teaching them things and helping them grow. But I do find it's not as structured, but I still highly recommend it because it brings the fun into your homeschooling. And I noticed that they actually just created a new upgrade of the app. So if you're downloading it now, you can download ABC Mouse 2, and then just the graphics look a lot better. It's a lot more interactive. It's really beautiful looking. So those are the main three apps and tools that I use for homeschooling. And then, of course, I enrich throughout the day, whether it's with painting, whether it's with sensory activities, whether it's just going outside, playing at the park, whatever it is. And then, of course, we love museums and experiences and everything like that. Now, one other tool that I have my eye on to use in the future, but I haven't dove deep into it yet, is called School.ai. And it seems to me that a lot of the schools that are actually using School.ai, and it's free. So how School AI appears to me is that it's self-guided learning. So if the student is interested in a certain topic, they can be self-guided through the AI to learn certain topics. So as my kids get older, if they want to go to regular school, I totally support that. But if they're loving the freedom and flexibility of homeschooling, I am definitely going to dive deeper into looking at School AI because it looks like they'll be able to do a lot of self-directed learning, being able to narrow in on the topics that really excite them so they can become experts in the things that they actually love, and they can learn their own discipline and routines in their learning. So School AI is definitely something on my radar. I can't deep dive on it to it yet because I haven't really used it too much, but that is something that I would look out for if my kids were older, or when my kids get older, if they're still homeschooling. So I hope that this was helpful for you if you've been asking me about my homeschooling journey, how I'm doing it. These are some of my favorite apps. And then, of course, remember, your kids learn so much through life itself. So if you're going shopping, being polite to the person that you're purchasing from. I let my kids tap my card when we're buying things. I explain to them about money and business and everything in between. I explain to them when I'm filling my car up with gas, what that looks like, because our kids are learning about the world just from watching us move through the world as well. So I think that's really important to add as well. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.